So quickly, you are going to need Adobe Digital Editions if you want to use ebooks and put them on your Nook or Sony or whatever, especially if you're not using the wireless app. So if you're hooking up to your computer to get your ebooks, here's the piece of software you're going to need. From our website, mylibrary.us, scroll over the media, so this tab comes up, and go right down to ebooks, fiction or nonfiction, doesn't matter. On the left side here, scroll down and you will see software, under which is Adobe Digital Editions. Give that a click. That's going to bring up this screen. Click the button for Get Adobe Digital Editions. That's going to take you outside of our website to the Adobe website. Then all you have to do is scroll down a little and you'll have a button that either says Install or Launch. Go ahead and click that. Yes. And it'll take you through the steps to install. And this is what it looks like when it's all done. It's kind of the dark version of iTunes. Everything's black and gray instead of white and blue. You've got your library view up here in the upper left. Reading view here next to it. That's for once you download a book and you want to look at it a little more widescreen style. Library. If you click on the word library, this gives you all your options. The one thing you might want to do as a troubleshooting ahead of time kind of thing is click this thing that says Authorize Computer. When you click that, it's going to ask you for an Adobe ID or password. If you don't have one, it has a link where you can get one, and it takes 2 minutes. You fill out a little form just like getting an email address, and then that'll authorize your computer. What that's going to do is just make it a whole lot easier to use everything in the future. Now you are ready to download some books. Okay, first things first, let's plug the Nook into your computer. So your Nook plugs in by USB cable. It looks something like this. It's the exact same sort of thing that if you have a flash drive it plugs into. It's a little bit different on every computer. If you have a laptop, it's usually on the side or the back. And it looks kind of like that. So we'll go ahead and plug that in. And the thing with the USB is you just don't need to force it. Well, maybe I do. But you don't. Okay, so we've got that in. Now let's plug the Nook in from this end. We've got this little guy here that came with it. You can tell you're plugging it in right because your Nook is facing up, and you should see this little symbol on the top too. So everything that's a display is facing up. Okay, once you get that plugged in, you should see that the little letter lights up right here too. And you'll see on your Nook that it's telling you it's in USB mode, which means it's ready to talk to your computer. Now you've got your Nook plugged in. The first thing you're going to want to do the first time you plug it in, and you've got the screen telling you you're in your USB mode, go ahead and double click that Adobe Digital Editions icon on your desktop, and that's going to open up right away and tell you that it wants to authorize your device, which is what you want to do. That way you won't have any troubles transferring from your computer to your device. So it's been successfully authorized, everything's good to go. Click Finished. So here we are. We've got Adobe Digital Editions open. We've got, in this case, a Nook. You might have a Sony or something like that. Right here on the sidebar. We've authorized the computer. We authorized the device. So now we're ready to download the file and then transfer it over to the device. So I'm going to go back to my account from our digital media here. I'm going to pick something out real quick. If this goes too fast for you, go ahead and go back to the previous video where we talked about browsing and downloading and all that. I'm just going to pick this, add it to my cart, proceed to checkout. Confirm checkout. Okay, so this is where I should have left you off. So I've got this Peter and Max Adobe EPUB ebook. I'm going to click this download button. And you're going to want to say save. I just saved mine straight to the desktop. You can make a folder where you can find them. If you save them on the desktop, you'll know where they are. And it also makes it really easy to delete them later. You can always put a folder on your desktop too. So I'm going to say save. Now, here's a tricky part. I'm going to close this. Once in a while, the first time you download, it's not going to quite know what to do with the file. So you'll see it right here on my desktop. If you right click on it, you'll get a little menu. And if you click on this open with, it'll give you some options. And in this case, it's Adobe Digital Editions pops right up. If you do this one time, then it should start opening it with Adobe Digital Editions every time. So now I've got it open. It's going to download. That just takes 1 minute here. I should have learned a good knock-knock joke first before I did this. Sometimes it takes a minute. Maybe some creative editing is in order here. Okay, excellent. There it is. Now there are a couple steps before I want to transfer it over here and unplug everything and make sure everything's good. First thing I'd like you to do, go ahead and just double click on that. See that it opens up. Maybe click somewhere in the table of contents here, just to make sure your download worked okay. Alright, now you've got this in your library view. Click on the left button, hold it down, and just drag it right over to your Nook. You can see below your cursor arrow, right here I've got a little red X, and when I get it to somewhere I can put it, like my Nook, it turns into a green plus. Let that go, it'll copy. Now you can click on your device there and see what's on there. So I've already got Iron Man on there, and I've got this on here. While you have your device selected here, go ahead and double click it again. This is reading it from your device. I just want to make sure that you've got it on your device as well. So that all looks good. So we'll go back to our library view. We've got the Nook here. And so we are ready to eject the Nook. So go ahead and eject your Nook, and we'll make sure it's on there okay. Okay, we're right back where we started. We've got the Nook again. Now we've transferred everything onto it. So let's go ahead and click on the bottom here, and we'll push the library button. Now here's something that's a little tricky. Usually your library will open up straight to books, but if you download from us, they might not be in books. You can see you've got books here, magazines, and over here you'll have one that says My Files. Punch that one, and here you'll have two folders, My Files and Digital Editions. Click that Digital Editions, and you'll be able to find what you're looking for in here. I've got Peter and Max right here, so I'll push that one, and we've got our book. We're ready to read. Everything's good to go, and it'll expire after 7 or 14 days depending on what you said. I hope you enjoy your books.